Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm making a response video to Josh Fairstein or whatever his fucking last name is, and this is the first time I've ever done a video like this, so the editing might be a little bit off, might look a little bit weird. I'm gonna try my best to make it as good as possible, but no promises. But yeah, this adult creationist is about to get owned by a 19-year-old atheist, evolution believing. Well, actually, it's not a belief, but whatever. You're about to get Josh. You're about to get owned by a 19-year-old. Let's get right down into the video.
Hey guys, Josh Fierstein here. You know, the other day I had an atheist tell me that I was an idiot, moronic, and stupid for believing in God, that he created this world, because it took way too much faith to believe in a process like that.
I like how he starts out his video explaining of a time he already got owned by an atheist. Wow. It's a great start to your video, Josh. If an atheist thinks you're stupid and moronic for having faith in God, that's because you are idiotic and moronic and stupid for having faith in God. That's plain and simple. And what's funny is this video is about evolution and creationism, not about God himself. Like, you can believe in God without believing in creationism. Like, there's a ton of Christians that believe in evolution, that understand evolution and accept it as a fact that it is, and they believe in God still. Like, the two aren't mutually exclusive.
While he believed in what he called the science of evolution. Well, let's go ahead and let's do this. Dear Mr. Atheist, first of all, let me correct you, because evolution is not a science, never has, and never will be.
Let me stop you right here. You're already wrong again. Evolution is a science. It's the theory of evolution. A theory is scientific theory. So yeah, evolution is scientific. So it does fit in science. Like, it is scientific. There is no lack of science in evolution whatsoever. But back to the idiot.
Why? Because it cannot fit within the parameters and parentheses of science for one simple reason. It was never observed.
It was never observed? I believe that's actually how we found it, was through observation of evolution. There's a book on the observation of evolution published by the acclaimed founder of evolution. Like, this is just a dumb comment. This goes back to the creationist belief that you have to observe something for it to be true. Based on that, God already doesn't exist, because you can't observe God. God isn't anywhere. He just isn't. There is no God. There is no God to observe. So your logic falls in on itself. But we have observed evolution, as well as we don't need to observe something for it to be true or even be considered to be true.
That's why it's not science. That's why it's called the theory of evolution. One man's theory.
Okay. I've heard this way too much. The theory of evolution means that it is not fact. Google it. Evolution is fact. 100%. It is fact. It's a theory and a fact. Those two are not mutually exclusive. Evolution is a factual event or part of science that we know happens 100%. And it's one man's theory. Like, one man thought of it. With the finches and everything. I hope you've heard of that. If not, then that's why we need more evolution to be taught in school. But he found evolution. He observed evolution, and he created this theory that is then continued on by other scientists who are some of the smartest people in the world. So yeah. God.
Now, let me show you how much faith it really takes to believe in evolution. You want me to believe that in some accidental cosmic bang, that out of that was created one cell, and from that one cell that all life springs, every plant, every animal, every single human being, and that somewhere along the way, over years and years, we mysteriously and magically all develop different wills, and we all develop different characteristics.
Josh, you clearly don't have a good grasp on the Big Bang. Do some research on it before you make a video like this. I don't know enough about it to completely refute what he is saying, but it didn't. He's overanalyzing or oversimplifying it is a better way to put it. He is basically saying there was one single cell, like this ball thing, one cell like this, but obviously a lot tinier, and then boom, out of nowhere, everything that we know to be this microphone, me, this room came to be just like that. No, you're very incorrect about that. This is why evolution comes into play. Evolution was the slow process of everything creating and forming from different organisms and evolving from past ancestors to what they are now. And the Big Bang was the start of the universe, like factually the start of the universe. We know how it started, and we don't know what was before that, but that's because science is always trying to find more. We know it wasn't a God that created it. And even if it was, what came before God? I've yet to hear a Christian successfully refute that argument.
Traits, all because we willed it in our... I mean, you really think that everything came from one single cell? How much faith does that take? Now,
how much faith does that take? Very good question. None. You're kind of being dishonestly ignorant to what evolution and what the Big Bang really are. There's no faith involved, and you're making it sound way more magical than what it is. And one of the first things you say is that we willed everything to happen. We willed things to be how they are. No, that's what evolution does. Evolution, survival of the fittest, decides what traits continue on and what things are developed. We did not will ourselves into existence. I didn't will myself alive before I was even born, willing my dad to have sex with my mom so that they could create me. Like, what? No, that's a horrible argument.
Now, I realize that you say that evolution is in science. And yet, if we go back to science, the one thing that science demands, maybe you've heard of something called the law of thermodynamics, which means that chaos can never produce order. Look at the world that we live in. The sun goes up, the moon comes out, we travel around the sun, we have years, we have days, we have seasons, the tide comes in and out, everything works like a clock.
I don't have too much of an argument to refute what he says here, because I haven't done research on it, to be completely honest. This is the only part of the video that I can't really refute myself, but I would highly suggest anyone who is interested just doing a simple research on why this law does not apply to evolution, the Big Bang, and how it doesn't even correlate with evolution or creationism or anything like that. He is taking it completely out of context. I've heard this refuted before, but I don't really remember how. I would suggest doing that, maybe checking out some other refutations of this retarded video. But then he goes on to mention that that they're like the Big Bang and evolution created months and seasons. Are you fucking kidding me? We created them. We named January, February. We named them those. That wasn't already there. Like, what? Are you retarded? And same thing with seasons. We named the seasons summer, winter, spring, fall. We named them. The weather pattern just happens to do with the revolution, the turning of the Earth a day, as well as the revolution of the Earth in respect to the sun around the sun in like a year. How that works. So he kind of made himself look like an idiot here.
It has order, and yet you cannot argue that a world that has order came out of an accident because it defies the very logic and laws of science.
Once again, here's Josh being dishonestly ignorant. It does not defy any laws of science or anything like that. And once again, it's an oversimplification of what happened. It wasn't just some random accident. It happened for a reason. Evolution happened because of survival of the fittest, for the better species, or the better organisms within a species to survive and thrive and continue on those better genes. That's how evolution works. I really think that creationists like this, like Josh, need to do a lot more research on evolution and the Big Bang and these laws that they throw in there, which have no actual involvement. They need to do more research on this before they make videos like this, because they have no application whatsoever.
You see, you think it takes a lot of faith for me to believe in a God that created this world, a God that created order, and yet, what if I were to tell you that somewhere in Oklahoma, a tornado rolls through a junkyard full of a bunch of old cars, and somewhere on the other side of that tornado, out of that junk pile, it magically produces a perfectly red, shiny, working Lamborghini? You would tell me I was nuts.
Yeah, I would tell you you're nuts because you are nuts for believing in creationism, completely irrelevant to the tornado story, which, once again, doesn't apply to evolution of the Big Bang. But once again, this is him being dishonestly ignorant and oversimplifying the Big Bang and evolution to make it sound stupid. No, there would never be a case where a tornado would roll through a junkyard and create a Lamborghini. That would never happen. I mean, I think based on some laws, it could it has the possibility to happen, but it won't happen. That's why you're nuts. But we can observe. Well, we have observed evolution happening, and we know that the Big Bang is fact. So you're trying to dispute things that are fact. You're obviously going to fail.
You would tell me that I had lost it. You would probably try to admit me into the psychiatric ward. Why? Because that is absolutely stupid. I mean, how much faith would it really take to believe something as idiotic as that? And yet that's exactly what science believes.
I'm tired of saying it, so I'm not going to say it again. But that's not what science believes. Science does not believe anything. Science doesn't believe in anything. Science cannot believe. Scientists can believe. Science is something that's all around us and is factual. Science is what says that this highlighter right here, when I let go of it, is going to fall to my desk. Let's see. Oh, science. That's what science is. Science is all around us. Scientists don't believe that a tornado going through a junkyard would create a Lamborghini. Unless they are literally insane, do not deserve to be a scientist, and should be checked into an insane asylum. Scientists do believe in the fact of evolution and the Big Bang, which are nowhere close to that bullshit story you made up.
Science believes that in this accident came this perfectly working earth with human life and with people and animals and plants and seasons and days and hours and rotates. I mean, the atmosphere, everything in earth was created perfectly. And I'm telling you, that could never happen through an accident.
Well, I'm telling you, it can happen, and it did. The rest of this video is basically idiotic, and I would highly suggest you guys not watch it for fear of brain cells dying. But if you do want to, continue watching the video. But I'm not going to respond to anything else he says in the rest of this video because it is purely idiotic. However, I'm going to make a bold statement. Josh, your video is titled, Destroying Evolution in 3 Minutes. Impressive. You didn't destroy anything. You didn't even make any solid arguments. But yeah, I like your vigor. I like your attempt. But I'm gonna do something even better. I'm gonna destroy your video in 3 words. 3 words. Evolution is fact. Boom. I just destroyed your video right there. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to let the rest of this video play out just because so you guys can see how stupid it is. I'm not going to respond to anything else because it's purely idiotic, but have fun if you want your brain cells to die. Fuck creationism. Sorry, I almost said fuck Christianity. Fuck creationism.
It had to be by intelligent design. So, dear Mr. Atheist, who really has to have a lot of faith today to believe in their theory? I believe in God because I've experienced Him, I've felt Him, but most of all, while driving through Yellowstone and Montana and so many of these natural reserves this week and looking at animals and looking at life, I don't know, I just can't look at all of that creation and say that it was an accident. I have to say that creation has a creator. And one final thought. Well, the word universe, you believe in a Big Bang, but when I look at the word universe, it means una, which is one or singular. That's Latin, universe. Verse means a spoken statement. So universe is one single spoken statement. I dare you to read Genesis 1. And in the beginning, God said, let there be. All God had to do was speak one single spoken statement and boom, the universe. God bless. I dare you, if you believe in God, if you believe that all of this stuff is nonsense and you have enough faith to stand up and say, I still believe in creationism, I still believe in a God that reigns above all, then I ask you to take a moment and click share. Click share below or on the side of this video. And if you're not my friend already on Facebook, click my name at the top of this video and let's be friends. But guys, it's time for us to stand up, get loud, and get proud. Why do we let evolutionary quote-unquote science work its way into middle schools and preschools and colleges and universities around the world? That's nonsense. It takes too much faith to believe that junk. And yet, I say it's time for us to begin to believe in intelligent design, believe in God. As always, like and comment below. I want to hear your thoughts on this. God bless. Have a very, very beautiful day.